students, today we are going to learn about the properties of the genetic material. Now, Hershey and Chase experiment proved that DNA is the genetic material. Now, we should know that what are the properties which should be there with this genetic material to qualify as a genetic material. So, these properties are: number one, it should be able to replicate. It should be able to duplicate itself. It should be able to make its own copy, identical copy. Then only it is qualifying as a genetic material. Because every time the cell is undergoing cell division, the genetic material has to be doubled so that the daughter cells should get the equal amount of genetic material. For that, the genetic material should be able to replicate itself. Now, this quality is present in RNA and DNA only. The other biomolecules like protein, fats, lipids, they do not have this property. So, only the RNA and DNA are the molecules which have the capability of replicating themselves. The second property which a genetic material should have is that it should be chemically and structurally stable. Now, what do you mean by this? That it should not change chemically, or the structure should not change, or the chemical composition should not change with different stages of life cycle, age, or with change in physiology of the organism. It should not be like that, that at a stage of egg, the material is something else. At the stage of larva, the material is something else. It should not be like that. It should be chemically and structurally stable structure. Then only it is qualified for the genetic, for being a genetic material. Now, stability of genetic material was evident in Griffith experiment. Griffith, if you recollect the Griffith experiment, even if the S strain was heat killed, heat treatment was given to the S strain bacteria, but still that strain, the DNA was present. That means the heat did not make the DNA damaged. The DNA was still there, and the DNA was able to transform the R strain bacteria. So now this can be easily explained in the light of double-stranded DNA. Two strands being complementary, if separated by heating, come together when appropriate conditions are provided, because they are having complementary base pairing. So whenever these two strands can be separated by heat, but whenever the conditions are favorable, they can come together, because and complementary base pairing can happen. The third thing which is important and which should be there in a genetic material is that it should have scope for changes. That means the mutation should be there, because if we want evolution, evolution is essential. Otherwise, the living world would stagnate. There will not be evolution. So, from simple to complex organisms are evolving since the beginning, since the life was originated on Earth. So, this evolution is a very important process, and this evolution can happen only when there are changes in the genetic material, and these changes in the genetic material are because of the mutation, because of the recombination. So these things should happen in the genetic material for the variation in the living world to occur. So the third important thing which a genetic material should possess is that it should have a scope for changes. That means they should be susceptible to the mutation. The mutation can bring the changes in this material. The fourth important property which a genetic material should have is that it should follow the Mendelian principles of inheritance, because we have seen that whenever the genetic material is being transferred from parents to progeny, the principles of inheritance are followed. So principles of inheritance should be followed by this genetic material. So these are the four important things which the genetic material should have. Now we will see that DNA as well as RNA both are qualifying for the genetic material. So we will see what are the differences between these two, DNA versus RNA. DNA is having deoxyribose sugar, RNA is having ribose sugar. What is the difference between these sugar? The only difference is that here oxygen is not present at carbon 2. So that's why it is called deoxyribose sugar. Another difference, 5-methyl uracil. 5-methyl uracil is what? Thymine. Here the nitrogenous base which is present is thymine, but here in spite of thymine, uracil is present. Now what is thymine? Thymine is same as uracil. Uracil with a methyl group. What is methyl group? CH3. So CH3 is present on uracil to make it thymine. So thymine is present in DNA and uracil is present in RNA. Now mostly DNA acts as the genetic material and RNA acts as a messenger and adapter. Now when we will see that central dogma, you will see that how RNA is taking the information from DNA to make the proteins. So RNA is basically acting as a messenger and adapter. It acts as a genetic material in some viruses, but in some viruses the genetic material is RNA. Now DNA is less reactive and structurally more stable when compared to RNA. Why? Because the presence of 2OH group, because this is ribose sugar and DNA is deoxyribose sugar. So in DNA, the OH group at 2 carbon is not present, whereas in case of RNA, it is present. So presence of this 2' OH group at every nucleotide makes RNA liable and easily degradable. It can be easily degraded. So that RNA is known to be catalytic. RNA is a biocatalytic also. So it is more reactive than DNA. And DNA is less reactive. Now chemically less reactive and it mutates. That mutation is taking place but at a slow rate. But RNA being unstable mutate at a faster rate. Mutation, the changes in the RNA can occur at faster rate as compared to the DNA. So consequently viruses have RNA genome and having shorter lifespan, mutate and evolve faster. Now this is the reason why the vaccines take very long for the viral diseases, because the virus changes itself very fast, because in virus if the RNA is the genetic material, the retroviruses, the mutations are very fast, and because of the shorter lifespan the evolution is very fast, so they keep on changing very fast. But here in DNA the mutations are occurring, but they are occurring at a slow rate. Now, DNA requires RNA for protein synthesis because DNA cannot directly make the protein. DNA has to send the information to the RNA, and RNA will make the protein for the required phenotype and genotype. Whereas RNA can directly code for protein, hence RNA can easily express for characters. So the DNA requires RNA for the protein synthesis, but RNA does not require DNA for protein synthesis. So RNA can directly code for the protein. Now, but then both are qualifying for genetic material, but we have seen that DNA is more stable than RNA. Why? These are the reasons. In RNA, a 2' OH group is present at every nucleotide. This makes RNA unstable and degradable. This, because it is pentose sugar, the OH group is present, and this OH group is making RNA unstable. Presence of thymine in place of uracil confers additional stability to DNA. Because of the presence of thymine, DNA is more stable, because if the uracil is present, RNA is less stable, and if thymine is present, DNA is more stable. The biocatalyst is more active. Because RNA is acting as a biocatalyst, it is more reactive than the DNA. DNA is double stranded, having complementary strand which resist the changes by repair mechanism. Now, RNA is only single stranded. So, in RNA, the complementary strand is not present. So, if there is change in the one strand, the change is permanent. But here in DNA, the DNA is double stranded, and if there is change in one strand of the DNA, the complementary strand will resist the change by repair mechanism. So repair mechanism is present in DNA because of the complementary strand, because of the two strands. So these are the reasons why DNA is more stable than RNA. We'll make these points more clear with the help of these diagrams. Now see, this is DNA versus RNA. This is deoxyribonucleic acid. Now double stranded, two strands are present. And this is deoxyribose. Now see the structure of deoxyribose here, and see the structure. This is second carbon. Here H and H are present in deoxyribose. If you see the ribose sugar, on second carbon, H and OH is present. Now this OH is making it more reactive and less stable. This OH, presence of this OH is making RNA more reactive and less stable. And without this oxygen, DNA is more stable. Okay, now this is double stranded, and if there is any changes, there is repair mechanism by the complementary strand, whereas here only one strand is there. If there are any changes in the strand of the RNA, then these changes are permanent. Now see, here it is thymine. Now if you see the difference between thymine and uracil, the same structure is there except this CH3. So in thymine, this additional methyl group is present. This makes DNA more stable. So presence of thymine makes DNA more stable. Now see this. These are the differences. If we want to list down the differences, first is type of pentose sugar. In case of DNA, it is deoxyribose. Here it is only H, and here it is OH. So it is pentose pentose sugar, and here it is deoxyribose sugar. This is ribose. So this is one difference which is present in the pentose sugar. Another difference is present in the number of strands. In DNA, you will find two anti-parallel complementary strands. Now, because they are complementary, the repair mechanism is there, and they are forming a double helix. Whereas in case of RNA, single strand is there, and often but not always linear in shape. They are present in a linear shape. Now, third difference is in the nitrogenous bases. Here in DNA, the nitrogenous bases present are adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine. Whereas in case of RNA, the nitrogenous bases are adenine, guanine, uracil. In spite of thymine, uracil is present here, and cytosine. So these are the three major differences between RNA and DNA. Okay, so what is the conclusion? The conclusion is that both RNA and DNA can function as genetic material because they both qualify for the properties which a genetic material should have. But DNA being more stable is preferred for storage of genetic information because you have to store that genetic information has to be stored in one organism, and that for that storage DNA is preferred. For transmission of genetic information, RNA is better because for transmission RNA can directly transmit the information to protein and protein will result in the trait, but DNA, the transmission has to go through RNA. So this is the conclusion, and in majority of the organisms except few viruses, we are having DNA as genetic material.